Good Thursday morning, Utah. We're almost to the weekend. We're getting close. It's this Friday Eve. The time is currently 5:14. And how about we take a look at some of the fall colors? This was captured by our chief photographer, AJ Lucero. The Pando Aspen Grove down in central Utah near Fish Lake. Largest living organism. Absolutely fantastic. The aspen trees doing their thing. A little bit of a flyover right there. That vibrant gold that you love to see, the aspens. And they're really changing colors in central and southern Utah. In the highest terrain in northern Utah, we're basically at or just past the peak, but they still look absolutely fantastic as we're closing in on the peak colors across the southern mountains. At the end of the day, what this means is if you haven't been able to go see the fall colors yet, make sure that you go do so. If you wanted to go do your canyon drive or just head up into the mountains, the fall colors are looking fantastic. And especially in northern Utah, where we still have a decent amount of snow from the last few days, you have the seasons clashing with winter up above, and then the fall colors basically at mid-mountain. Doesn't really get much better than that. When it comes to our weather, it's going to be a pretty quiet day today. High pressure is built in, the forewarned radar, not seeing much of anything. And as we go through today, through tomorrow, and more or less through the weekend, we're not going to see much of anything. We're going to settle into some pretty nice weather across the Beehive State. Here's what it currently looks like up at Snow Basin looking towards Mount Ogden, and you can see around 9,000 feet. We do have some of that residual snow while you have the colors that continue to change down below, and with the twinkling stars above, that is just a really pretty scene early on this Thursday morning. Here's the current view down in St. George, where all is nice and calm as we look towards the Red Rock this morning, but we're roughly 2 hours away from sunrise because we're getting towards that point of the year where that sunrise well past 7 o'clock in the morning. When it comes to our temperatures, it's a little bit chilly out there. Most of us waking up with temperatures in the 40s, but there are a few spots in the 30s, while a few spots down in southern Utah like St. George, Lake Powell, and Blanding are all waking up with temperatures in the 50s, but you'll likely see your temperatures cool off at least a little bit more before we do get to sunrise, as we do have a couple of hours before we get to that point. Your dog walking forecast on the Wasatch Front, a little bit chilly out there this morning, but by 9 o'clock, maybe the perfect time to take your dog for a walk, sitting at 51 degrees. And then through the afternoon, temperatures hanging out in the mid to upper 60s. And some beautiful weather with mostly sunny skies, and Ashley and Lola are ready to go. And Lisa will be taking those good girls for a walk today. Your regional forecast will see our daytime highs roughly 5 degrees warmer compared to what we saw yesterday. Most in northern Utah will see daytime highs in the 60s outside of the high terrain, while down in southern Utah, daytime highs today will mainly be in the 70s and 80s. This is in contrast compared to the 60s and 70s that we saw yesterday. We'll go ahead and zoom things in here for a little bit better perspective. In Salt Lake City, we'll see a daytime high of 69 degrees, while in Park City, we climb back to the low 60s after being in the 50s yesterday, and the previous 2 days were in the 40s in Park City, so a nice little warming trend there. While in the Uinta Basin, daytime highs will be in the upper 60s. In central Utah, we'll get to 64 degrees in Nephi, 74 in Castledale, 70 degrees in Richfield. Then down in southern Utah, some very pleasant temperatures at 72 in Blanding, 69 in Escalante, 82 in Lake Powell, 75 in Kanab, and we see St. George today return to the 80s by getting to 83 degrees this afternoon. Let's go ahead and begin the long-range futurecast. And as I mentioned, over the next few days, we're not going to see much of anything, and that's because this dome of high pressure moving in from the Pacific is more or less going to park itself over us as we make our way through our Saturday. But with those winds out of the north right now, that's why we're going to be below average today. And with that high pressure moving from west to east, with winds more out of the south, our temperatures by this weekend will actually be a little bit above average. But going into early next week, this high pressure will start to shift down to our south, and that's going to open up the door to a system that's going to be coming in by the middle of next week by the looks of things. And with that system that's arriving by the middle of next week, we'll see an increased chance of wet weather and also temperatures dropping maybe just a little bit below our seasonal averages. But it doesn't look like at this point those temperatures will get as cool compared to what we saw earlier this week. In St. George, we'll go from the low 80s today to the middle 80s tomorrow, and then for this upcoming weekend, daytime highs a little bit above average, but not too bad, with mid to upper 80s. Then daytime highs will ease down a little bit by the middle of next week as we add a little bit more cloud coverage. At this point, it looks like St. George might stay dry with that system coming in next week, though. Then along the Wasatch Front, daytime highs will go from the mid to upper 60s today to the low 70s tomorrow. Then daytime highs mainly in the mid to upper 70s Saturday, Sunday into early next week. Overnight lows also returning to the 50s. But then as we make our way into Tuesday and Wednesday, the potential of wet weather will start to increase, and we could see our daytime highs return to the 60s by Wednesday. Now let's go ahead and switch gears.